This is a live look at the White House as President Trump approaches the end of his first 100 days in office. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Johnette Magner.
I'm Jonathan McCall. Thanks so much for joining us here on KTBS 3 News at 6. Ahead of the president's first 100 days of his second administration, voters are sharing their thoughts on his performance so far. A new poll from the Center Square News found that 47% of Americans say that immigration has gotten better. 41% though say they're still concerned about inflation and high prices. 33% say they're concerned about tariffs and international trade. KTBS 3's political anchor Jeff Byamford, the only reporter from Shreveport invited to the White House for this event. He joins us live from the White House with a recap from today. Jeff, good evening.
Hey, good evening, Jonathan. How are you doing? Yeah, somehow they made a mistake and they managed to include us in their invitations. But no, it's quite an honor to be invited to the White House. Right over my shoulder here, you can see that is the famous West Wing. That is where the Oval Office is. That is the office of Donald Trump. And you guys mentioned immigration, and let's move up this way. And we've shown these earlier throughout the day, but these are posters that are lining the driveway here at the White House. You can see them as we move down the row. All illegal immigrants arrested for some heinous crimes, sexual abuse, rape, murder. That is obviously one of the big items on the Trump agenda, as you discussed. Right here is a beautiful look at the White House, the main body of the White House, as the sun begins to set here in Washington, D.C. And earlier today, we're behind that main body of the White House, and we met with several members of the administration, several key Congress people. We will start with Secretary of the Interior Doug Burgum, and we'll also hear from Byron Donalds of Florida and Marjorie Taylor Greene from Georgia, all talking about Donald Trump's first 100 days in office, which officially is Wednesday.
This is what anybody would want out of any leader, which is clear direction, empowerment to your team, and accountability afterwards. So this is a leadership course in action, watching what he's done the first 100 days. And as someone who spent my life in business, I had an opportunity to work with a lot of leaders that were building great tech companies. This is real leadership that's happening right now, and he's tackling some of the biggest challenges this country's facing. That if you were a politician, you wouldn't touch these things. President Trump is driving right in and saying, we're going to fix this for the American people.
So it's been an aggressive and ambitious 100 days, but it's been what is needed in this country, and Donald Trump is just getting started.
I certainly wouldn't call it tumultuous. I would call it fantastic. And that's what I hear from people back at home and all over the country. Thankfully, I spent the past 2 weeks out of Washington, D.C. And back home in my district and talking to people not only there, also at our GOP district convention, but my office received phone calls from all over the country. And what I'm hearing from Americans is they are thrilled with President Trump.
So you got the feeling from some of the administration, the Secretary of the Interior, some key members of Congress about how they feel about Donald Trump's first 100 days in office. As I said, that officially happens on Wednesday, but they reported probably they invited maybe 24 local television reporters from around the country meeting out in the South Lawn behind the White House earlier today. It was indeed a pleasure to visit with those folks and also to visit with all the local media that were here today too. Got to meet a lot of really cool people. And I will tell you one more thing about the media. It's starting to thin out right now, but you literally couldn't move 5 feet anywhere inside the White House grounds without bumping into another member of the media, a camera crew, something. They're all over the place. Anyway, it was a pleasure to be here and reporting live at the White House in Washington, D.C. Jeff Byamford, KTBS 3 News.
Jeff, we do appreciate your reporting. We'll see you tonight for the news at 9 and 10. Thank you.